Drones of the Security Service of Ukraine recently attacked the Tambov, Saratov and Belgorod regions of the Russian Federation. Gas compressor stations and a warehouse for S-300/S-400 missiles were hit. Sources in the Security Service of Ukraine told media about this. Long-range drones hit 2 gas compressor stations, Davidovskaya in the Tambov region and Novopetrovskaya in the Saratov region. The video shows unmanned aerial vehicles hitting industrial equipment at stations and causing powerful explosions. Drones attacked a field depot of missiles for the S-300/S-400 systems near the village of Redkovka, Belgorod region. After the impact, active detonation of ammunition began. The SBU has carried out another successful special operation on enemy territory, which has caused significant damage to Russia's budget, reduced the ability to finance the war against Ukraine and the military potential of the Russian army, the source said. During a full-scale war, Ukraine strikes strategic targets in Russia, including oil refineries, ammunition depots, and more. The attacks, mostly carried out by drones, are intended to weaken the Russian military machine, make it more difficult to supply the front with fuel and ammunition, and create tension within Russia. According to open sources, it is known that as a result of the actions of Russian air defense, a number of civilian infrastructure facilities were damaged. The Ukrainian defense forces have detailed information about strategic facilities involved in supporting the armed aggression of the Russian Federation against Ukraine, adhere to the norms of international humanitarian law and take measures to ensure maximum safety for the civilian population, the General Staff reported.
Russia has formed assault units from military personnel previously assigned to the Strategic Rocket Forces RVSN, which is the Russian Army's arm controlling land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles, Militani reports. OSINT analyst Unit Observer has established that these units have already been deployed by Russian command to the Toretsk front in Ukraine's Donetsk Oblast. Amid the ongoing Russo-Ukrainian war, Russia is experiencing high daily losses and is seeking additional troops across various military structures. Last September 2024, reports emerged that Russia had formed a mechanized battalion named Frigate, consisting of crew members from its only aircraft carrier, Admiral Kuznetsov. Initially stationed in Kharkiv Oblast, the battalion was later redeployed to the Pokrovsk front. According to the analyst, movement of personnel from the 12th Main Directorate of the Strategic Rocket Forces was first detected in November 2024 at the border between Russia and the temporarily occupied Donetsk Oblast. The 12th Main Directorate primarily consists of nuclear weapons storage bases and strategic rocket forces arsenals. In December, reports surfaced about a previously unknown 20th Regiment operating in the Toretsk direction, without clear subordination. Obituaries later confirmed its affiliation with military unit number 43879 under the 132nd Motorized Rifle Brigade. This brigade is also linked to military unit number 25625, number 73752, a repair and technical base, and number 39995, which provides security and engineering support, according to Militani. The Strategic Rocket Forces Motorized Rifle Regiment was the first mentioned in July 2024, indicating its formation began earlier that year. By October, Militani had already reported on the creation of Strategic Rocket Forces infantry units in Russia. The first mention of the Strategic Rocket Forces Motorized Rifle Regiment dates to July 2024, indicating its formation began in mid-2024. In October 2024, Militani had already reported on the formation of Strategic Rocket Forces infantry units in Russia. Russian Strategic Missile Forces count 50,000 personnel, according to the latest edition of the Military Balance Assessment from IISS. This massive force is divided into 12 missile divisions, subdivided into 38 missile regiments. Each has up to 9 mobile launch systems with either YARS or Topol intercontinental ballistic missiles. Alternatively, a regiment runs between 6 and 10 underground intercontinental ballistic missiles silos and a command center.
Tribal groups in the U.S. are working to figure out what comes next as the Trump administration pushes for funding cuts to federal grants and loans. According to Associated Press, they were holding discussions on economic opportunities and challenges at the Reservation Economic Summit in Las Vegas. Carly Hotvet, a spokesperson of the Indigenous Food and Agriculture Initiative, said she was hopeful that the Trump administration's relationship with tribal groups will be respected. Despite her comments, a directive from President Donald Trump and Elon Musk looks to close more than a quarter of Bureau of Indian Affairs offices, which provide vital services to indigenous communities, among other freezes and staff layoffs. Don Sampson, a spokesperson of the OESTA Corporation, said he believed the funding freeze plan will affect both Democratic and Republican states. More than 4,500 attendees from the US and Canada took part in the summit, which was held between March 10th to 13th.
Yeah, a portion is at risk. The Trump administration put a freeze on a lot of the funding. There's, as I mentioned, there's 3 programs. One's the Solar for All, and that was frozen for almost 3 weeks. '48 or so states all got big chunks of Solar for All money. Red state, blue state, and so a lot of the coalitions that we've been building include Republican states, and they're saying, hey, wait a minute, that's benefiting us and our low-income communities as well.
Where did all my grant money go? It's being hung up in some litigation right now.
We know that tribes have a unique relationship with the federal government and a government-to-government style relationship, and the federal government also has a trust obligation to tribes. And so we are hopeful that that relationship is respected. The other issue that we're seeing related to some of these potential federal office closures include Bureau of Indian Affairs agency offices, particularly ones that are located in western states that serve tribes with larger land bases. They administer the agricultural and grazing leases on those tribal lands, and if there is a delay in renewing those leases or administering them appropriately, there's a potential that could significantly impact the agriculture producers on those reservations.
You know, one thing we do hope is that with this administration, who has identified efficiencies and effectiveness as a key platform of theirs, also reducing federal bureaucracy, that self-determination, self-governance has proven to achieve that. So for the last 50 years, we can show that tribes can use federal dollars more effectively and more efficiently than the federal government can.